Hello, my name's Eric Stillman, and today I'm going to be working on my car, and you're probably hearing a little bit of wind because it's blowing pretty good and it's overcast. But it's nice and cool to work on your car out in Pahrump, Nevada. So on my car I got a few sensors I'm going to be changing out. We have one, this is a knock sensor right there. Looks kind of like that. The other sensor we're going to be changing out is this one here. This is it's for the overhead camshaft. I have a single overhead camshaft in my 2005 Dodge Neon, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to change those out. So anyway, if you guys do something stupid, that's your own damn fault. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna start with the knock sensor. I've looked at the engine block and I think it's on the bottom somewhere, so I'm gonna have to jack the car up. I'm gonna use a 2.5 ton hydraulic jack, and then I'm gonna put it on some jack stands. I like to make sure the brakes set really tight. Yeah, we'll use that for later, huh? So anyway, I'm not going to do any diagnostics on this car because, see, I don't have the right tools. I don't have that little computer thing, it tells you what's wrong with the car. But I do have the mom and pop shop that told me what was wrong with my car prior, and my car is acting up again in the same manner, so that's why I'm changing out the knock sensor and the camshaft sensor. So here we are underneath the car. If we come this way, this is the front bumper. My hand is right here. That's my license plate. We come underneath the car, underneath the bumper, and if you look at this, this is the oil pan, which is right underneath the engine head. Right here, this is going to the bottom of the radiator. I'm just trying to give you an example of where this is at because it's really hard to find some of these things. But if we look right in there between the oil pan and the tube that's going to the radiator, we'll find the knock sensor, which is right there. See that bolt? That bolt right there? That's the one we want to get to. Now, for safety's sake, I'm not going to go any further until I undo these. This happens to be 10mm. It's going to be... There we go. Well, this side's a little oxidized. It's a little harder than I thought it was going to be. There we go. Now, down here behind the battery, I think you have a 13mm. Ah! Yeah, that's the piece that we pulled out. So here we are. I got a 13mm here on the knock sensor. Oh, look at that. I can get it by hand. I don't know how to undo the sensor part yet where the wire's attached to it, so I'm going to show you how to do that, hopefully. There's the knock sensor. That's the one we're going to replace right now. So here's the old knock sensor, and here's the new one. They look about the same. But this one, I couldn't show you because I couldn't hold the camera and do it at the same time. It's a little difficult. But on this particular sensor on this car, there's like two little pieces that you squeeze on the side in order to pull it off. See, there's these little locks on the side here. There's this lock and this lock, and that's what the little clips hold on to make it so that it doesn't come off. So just squeeze the sides, and you're going to have to get your two hands up in there. In fact, you have to get into a position where you can't even see what you're doing while you're pulling it off. So good luck. So here it is, the new knock sensor put on right here. We're just going to reattach it to the engine, the way it was before with the screw through it. And we're going to do it like the Germans do, just good and tight, since I can't find the torque specifications for it. Alright, I think that's good. So here's the Dodge Neon open. If we come up this way and we're looking at it here, this is where the battery used to be, right in this little pan area. And if you go on that's the head right there. if you go on the side of the head, we're going to change out the camshaft sensor, which is right down here. Okay, if you look at that, there's, well, you can't see it all, but there's 4 bolts. There's 1, 2, and then there's 2 on the other side, like a square. If you look right down at it, you'll see that there's a plug with the wires down there. And I don't know how to take that off right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the sensor first because it's easier to get those bolts out. And then once I get the bolts out, we'll see how the plug comes undone. So I got this on the screw down there, and this is an 8mm. So just get the right tools and undo it. We got the ratchet in there, right there, you know. And you might find it hard to grab the screw, but if you get one of these little magnet things right here, you go in there and go get the screw. See? And it pulls right out. Look at that. Alright, so I got the 4 bolts out, and we took the sensor off. This is what it is right here. Yeah, there's a little rubber grommet, circle rubber grommet. I think this particular plug, you just push this and then pull it off. So here are the 2 sensors. This is the old one that I just took off, and you can tell it's older. If you look at the resin, it's a little more red looking. This one's nice and new and clear. After you drop them, you want to look at this. See, here's the there's a little rubber grommet here that's circular on these 2 things, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you tighten these, you tighten them catty corner, because you want this little rubber grommet to sit perfectly how it's supposed to. I don't know what the torque settings are, so I'm going to do what I said earlier, you know, the good old-fashioned German kind, guten tight. But anyway, I was just letting you know, when you got a grommet like this, make sure that you go catty corner, and we'll make it nice and tight. So here's the battery. I got this little tool I like to use that you put on there like this on the terminals, and you just turn it. Makes it nice and clean. That's a side that was oxidizing. That looks pretty good. And we'll do both sides just for giggles. Then it's got this other side too that you pull out. Oh, that's the cover, excuse me. Pull out, it's got this brush, and you brush the inside of these. Well, where's it at? There's one there. So we'll do that one, and we'll do that one. So here's, I got the battery back in where it goes. I'm going to put the terminals back on. I clean this one. I clean the terminals of the battery, but I like to use this stuff called No-Locks by Ideal, because I happen to be an electrician, so I just put a little bit of that around the terminal over here and there, and you put it back together. So I finished all the stuff. I tightened up the battery with the No-Locks. We did the knock sensor changed out, and I got the overhead camshaft sensor changed out. And now she should run like a beauty. Well, no check engine light, so I think I did a good job.